Hi, my name is Udit and I work in Germany as a finance manager. We are all very fond of reading words shared by wise men who have had the experiences and they were kind enough to share these words with us. And these come by in the form of quotes which we see in books or in the internet. And it is very important to read through these quotes, these experiences which help us grow as an individual. In today's video, I am going to emphasize the pitfalls of not going into the details and just skimming through the surface of these quotes and experiences. At the beginning of my investment journey, I read a wonderful quote which was shared by Warren Buffett, which says that you should invest only in your circle of competence. What does it mean? It means that you should put your money only in the sectors, only in the companies, industries, or the asset classes which you understand fully. And which are the sectors and companies that you understand fully is where you are either interested in reading about or primarily you are working there. And because you're working, you are exposed 8 to 10 hours a day, you pick up trends and you develop a sound understanding of the industry. And this gives you the confidence and the conviction to invest in these companies. How I understood it was that my circle of competence was the industry which I was reading about and I was working in, which was primarily telecom and FMCG. FMCG was the sector where I was working in, and telecom was one sector about which I was very much interested in reading about. And what it led to was that for the first few years of my investment journey, I was heavily invested in only FMCG and partially in telecom stocks. I was ignorant towards all other sectors, all other asset classes, because I thought this is my circle of competence and I am going to invest only in my circle of competence because Warren Buffett said so and I am following his words. What I didn't understand was that I was being intellectually arrogant about my lack of knowledge. What this quote actually means, once I read more in detail about it, is that at present you should invest only in the businesses and the companies that you understand. But it does not mean that you don't expand your circle of competence. You should always strive towards learning more about the world, about businesses, about industries, about geographies, and that's how you gradually expand your circle of competence. As you grow competent in terms of your intellectual capabilities, you start growing more confident in terms of putting your own money to work. And then this creates a positive feedback loop, because once you invest a certain amount of money in a certain sector or a company about which you have partially read about, and then you grow interested in those businesses, and then you start to read and absorb the trends in a faster way. And this leads to a positive feedback loop, like I said, in terms of gathering of knowledge. And gradually you become more comfortable with newer things in life. So it is very important to understand and to know what we don't know, and not be very closed minded about whatever we are knowing and just sticking with that. This can lead to you missing out on returns that the other sectors, other geographies, or the other asset classes have to follow. For example, if I would have stuck only to the FMCG sector or the telecom sector, my portfolio would not have performed very well and would have missed out the bull run that was visible across the past decade in a lot of other industries and a lot of other companies and also asset classes. And more than the portfolio returns, what has helped me in my investment journey so far is being inquisitive, trying to understand more and more about new businesses, new companies, new asset classes, and now new geographies. Once your experience grows, once your mental faculties start being challenged, then the learning and growth journey begins. What has happened in the past few years is that I have become much more curious about the world in general. And this has also helped me in my personal, professional, as well as financial life. So, my friends, the point that I'm trying to make here is that we should always strive toward expanding our circle of competence. And by that, I mean being curious, being inquisitive, and being open to new experiences and learning. And that is how we grow in our lives and careers. We should not be rigid and fixated in our mindset about a certain shell that we are living into. We should continuously strive towards expanding our horizons. And that is the key to personal, professional, and financial growth. So, this was the point that I was trying to make. I hope it made sense and resonated with you. If you like the videos and the ideas that I'm sharing, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. And don't forget the key mantra that I always say at the end of my videos. Keep walking and remember, growth is life. Thank you.